Hello friends, today we are going to see about coded inequalities, and it is a very important topic in PO level because usually in clerical level you will get a straightforward inequality question and it is easy to solve, but in PO level you will get this one, that is coded inequalities. Instead of greater than or less than or equal to, and instead of those signs, a particular symbol will be given, like a dollar sign or a star, at a number sign and a percentage sign, like this one, or a copyright symbol. A symbol will be given, and we should first, what we have to do is we have to convert that symbol into the normal greater than or smaller than symbols. Then after that we have to uh, read the statement and convert the statement into uh, the normal stuff, and after that we have to see whether the conclusion is correct or not. Okay, so there is a lot of process which you have to do in coded inequality question, and normally when you do it using the conventional method, it will take around 10 minutes. Okay, so if you do it normally, it will take around 10 minutes. So there is a shortcut to do it as well, but before telling you the shortcut, what I will do is I'll tell you how to do it normally. The question is, in the following questions, a symbol at, percentage, dollar sign, then a number thing, and a star are used with the following meaning as illustrated below. Okay, P dollar Q means P is not smaller than Q. So P dollar Q means P is not smaller than Q. So that basically means P can be greater or equal. Okay, so dollar sign means greater or equal. Okay, and the next one is star. Okay, the star sign basically means P is neither smaller than nor equal to. It says that it is neither smaller than nor equal to. That means it is greater than. They are telling you that it is not smaller nor it's equal, so that means it's greater. Okay, so it's greater. The next sign is the number sign, and it says, okay, here this one, P is neither greater than nor smaller than. They say that P is neither greater than nor smaller than. That means it is not greater or it's not smaller. That means it is equal to. Okay, this symbol means equal to. The next one is at, which means P is not greater than Q. If it's not greater than Q, it can be smaller or equal. Okay, so at means smaller or equal. Okay, and the last symbol is the percentage symbol. Percentage symbol, which means P is neither greater than nor equal to. It's not greater or it's not equal, so definitely it should be smaller. Okay, so now we got five symbol, and we know what these five symbols represent. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to go for the real solution. Okay, now we can go for the first question, and the answer will be the standard one. If one is correct, there are two conclusions. So if one is correct, you have to select one. If two is correct, you have to select two. If either one or two is correct, you have to select three. If both are wrong, you have to select four, and if both are right, you have to select five. Okay, let's go for the question. Question is M star T comma t dollar k comma k number d. Okay, so basically this is statement number 1, statement number 2, and this is statement number 3. So what we have to do is we have to combine all these three statements into one. Okay, and the one thing which we can do is see m star t, after the comma the next letter is t. That means the ending of the first statement and the beginning of the second statement is the same. Likewise, the ending of the second statement and the beginning of the third statement is the same. Okay, so if this is the case, then what we can do is we can write it straight away as m sorry m star t, and we can combine, we can write it as 1t, then k, we can write k as 1k, d. Okay, so this is the combined statement. This is the combined statement. So if the ending of the first statement and the beginning of the second statement are the same, then we can write it as one word. Okay, so we can write it as t and we can put the symbol as it is, and after that this is the first step. The second step is then this will become m, that is star. We have to put the corresponding symbols. T for dollar, we have to write it as this one, and write k, then for this number sign, then it's equal to d. Okay, so now what I've done is I've converted the codes into the corresponding inequalities symbols. Okay, then I'm going for the conclusion. Conclusion is d percentage m. This is the first conclusion. Okay, so which basically means d for percentage, it's smaller than m. So from this one we can say that m is greater than d. Okay, instead of since k and d are equal, I can write it as m greater than t greater than or equal to d. And if both are in the same direction, and if you have a dual functionality and a single functionality, the answer will always be a single functionality, and we have to write the first term and the last term as it is, and that is what is the conclusion which they have given. So the first conclusion is right. Okay, let's go for the second conclusion. It is m sorry second conclusion is m star k. So this we can write it as m for star, it's greater than k. Likewise, k is here, m is here. So here what we have done is we have replaced k with d. Here what we are going to do is we are going to write it as it is, t greater than or equal to k. They are in this, both the symbols are in the same direction, and one is a unifunctionality and the other one is a dual functionality sign. Then the answer will be a single functionality one, and we have to write the first term as it is and the second term as it is, and that is what is the conclusion which they have given. So both the conclusions are right, so the answer will be number 5. Okay, so if both the conclusion 1 and 2 are true, we have to select 5. Okay, So this is the answer for the first one. We can go for the second one. Second one, the statement is r at the rate of j comma m number j comma d star m. Okay, so this is the statement which they have given. Okay, the one thing which I can do is, first I can convert. In the first question you can see everything is in a particular order. After m it's t, then it's k, and k, and after k it's t. So since both are coming together, we can consider it as one. So first thing which I'm going to do is, I'm going to uh, convert this statement into the normal statement, the statement like the before one. Okay, so I'm going to put it as r at j comma, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put j first, and I'm going to put m second. So what that basically means is, we have to put the opposite sign of this number sign. So number sign equal means equal, so I don't have to do anything, I can put the equal sign as it is. And the next one is d and m. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put m first and d second, so that we can get a we can get the statement in an ordered manner like the first one. Okay, so okay, so instead of star, since I'm changing the order, I have to put the opposite sign of star. So star basically means it's greater than, so the opposite sign is percentage, that is less than. Okay, so this is the this is how you will this is the first step. First convert the statement into orderly manner, then you can write the statement r at j. Since both are in orderly fashion, we can write it as it is. So I'm not going to write this symbol as hash, or okay, I'm going to write the symbol as hash. Okay, then m percentage d. Okay, this is the single statement. So I'm going to substitute the values r for at, so the value is r less than or equal to j. For a percentage the value is equals, so m, and for percentage the value is less than d. Okay, so what I've done is I've converted the coded stuff into normal inequality question. So now I'm going for the conclusion. Okay, the first conclusion is d star j, so which basically means d instead of star, the star means a greater than symbol. Okay, so that means d, we want to check whether d is greater than j or not. So we are going to consider only this one. So from this one we can clearly say that d is greater than j. So the first one is correct. Second one, r number sign m. So that means r for number, that means it's equal to sign m. So we have to check whether r is equal to m or not. R is here and m is here, so I'm going to write it first. R less than or equal to j, that is equal to m. Okay, so in the previous video I would have told you that equal to doesn't mean anything, which basically means r less than or equal to m. I can replace j with m since j and m are equal. So this is the resultant one, and in the second conclusion they have told us that r is equal to m, but the answer which we are getting is r is less than or equal to m. So this conclusion is wrong. So only one is correct. The first one is correct. So we are going to put the answer as number 1. The third sum, and even here it is not arranged properly. So f dollar m n at m n percentage w. So the first step for me is to convert it in the ordered fashion, that is r dollar sign m comma m, and so since I'm changing the order, I have to put the opposite sign of at. At basically means smaller than and equal to, so I have to replace it with dollar sign n, because the opposite of at is the dollar sign. So n, and the last one is given as it is, equal to w. And the next step which I'm going to do is I'm going to write it, since both are since these things are in the ordered manner, I'm going to write it as it is, percentage w. Okay, so the next thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these symbols with the corresponding greater than or equal to sign. So f dollar means greater than or equal to m greater than or equal to n. Percentage means smaller than w. Okay, so this is the resultant statement. So I'm going for the first conclusion. First conclusion is f hash n. Okay, so that means f hash means equal to n. Okay, so from this statement, from this one, we know that f is greater than or equal to n. Since both are in the same direction, so that means we can get a conclusion, and since both are dual functionality, the answer will be a dual functionality. So I'm going to write the dual functionality sign, and I'm going to write the first term and the last term, that is the third term, as it is. So this is the resultant answer, but the answer which they have given is f equal to n, so that is wrong. The first one is wrong. Second statement, n percentage f. So that basically means n less than f. So we know for a fact that from the previous question, we know that f is greater than or equal to n, but they have in this conclusion they are telling us that n is less than f. So that means f is greater than n. Okay, so both are same. So this is what they're telling us. So even this one is wrong. But in this question you can see both the conclusion involves only two terms, that is f and n. And whenever you have this condition, whenever you have this scenario where both the conclusions are the same, it's between the same letter, usually the option will be 3. Usually 95% of the time the option will be 3. I'll tell you why. Because in the first conclusion, from the first conclusion, they're telling us that f is equal to n, but the conclusion which we got is f is greater than or equal to n. Okay, and the second conclusion is f is greater than n, and the first conclusion which they have given is f is equal to n, and the second conclusion which they have given is f is greater than n. Okay, but the resultant answer which we get is f is greater than or equal to n. Okay, suppose I'm going to consider it as 50% and this one as another 50%. So 50% of the answer is right in the first question, in the first conclusion, and in the second conclusion 50% of the answer is right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add both these things, so that makes 100%. Okay, so that if I add both these things I'll get this answer, that is f greater than or equal to n, right? Suppose if the condition is if f greater than or equal to n means either f is greater than n or equal to n. That basically means it can be either greater or it can be equal, it cannot be smaller. Okay, and the first conclusion which we got is f is equal to n. So if this condition is right, this one is wrong. If the first condition is right, the second conclusion is wrong. Likewise, if the second conclusion is right, the first conclusion is wrong. Okay, so that basically means if either the first one is right or the second one is right, we don't know which one is right. The first one is right, the second one is wrong, and if the second one is right, the first one is wrong. So in this condition you have to put the third option, that is if either conclusion 1 or 2 is true. We don't know what is the correct answer, but if we know that either first one is correct or second one is correct, because if the first one is correct, the second one is obviously wrong. If the second one is correct, the first one is wrong. So we know for a fact that from the conclusion which we have got and the statement which they have given, we know that either the first one or the second one is right. So that is basically means the third answer, that is if either conclusion 1 or 2 is true. So the answer is number 3. Okay, usually 1, 2, 4 and 5 are very straightforward ones, so we can, if we put the answer, if we put the data properly, we can get those things correctly. But the third one is a tricky one, but the only good thing about the third one is it will be between two elements. So whenever you see a conclusion with only 2 elements, and then you can be pretty much sure that the answer will be number 3, either the first one is right or the second one is right. Okay, I'm going to the fourth question. Okay, and the fourth question statement is b hash j j at d comma f dollar sign d. Okay, that is a statement, and I'm going to write it in the ordered manner, that is j at d. I'm going to change the order, I'm going to put d first, so d, and I'm going to write f second, and what I have to do, since I'm going to change the order, I'm going to have to put the opposite sign of dollar sign, opposite sign of dollar sign is greater than or equal to. Okay, so this is the ordered manner statement which we have got, and now we have to simplify the statement, that is b hash j at d, and sorry, instead of hash instead of dollar sign I have to put the opposite sign. So the opposite sign is at. At is the opposite sign of dollar sign. So at f. So which means b hash means equal to j, at means greater than, sorry, less than or equal to d, less than or equal to f. Okay, this is the simplified statement. Let's go for the conclusion. The first conclusion is b hash f. So b is here, so we have to consider the complete statement. I can replace j with b because both j and b are equal. So b less than or equal to d, less than or equal to f. As I told you before, both are in the same direction, so that means we can get a conclusion, and one is a dual functionality and the other one is also a dual functionality, so the answer will be a dual functionality. And I'm going to write the first letter and the second letter as it is. So this is the result which we have got, and this basically means b hash f means hash means equal to f. Okay, so the first conclusion is wrong. So I'm going for the second conclusion, f star b, f star b. So that means for star the value is f greater than b. From the previous one we know that the resultant is b less than or equal to f. Okay, so even the second one is wrong. Statement 1 and statement 2 are individually wrong, but when you combine statement 1 and statement 2, we get the resultant relation between b and f. So as I told you, as I explained in the previous question, the answer will be 3. It's either the first one is right or the second one is right. If the first one is right, the second one is wrong. If the first one is wrong, the second one is right. Okay, and as I told you before, it is between two terms, b and f, and the second conclusion is also between b and f. If both the conclusions are between two letters, two similar letters, then 95% of the time the option will be number 3. Suppose if you don't have time in the examination, you got only 30 seconds and you cannot do all this stuff in 30 seconds, then you can put option number 3. 95% of the time it will be right. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. So the last sum is the statement is z percentage t comma t star n comma h dollar n. The first step is I'm going to write it in an orderly manner, and the examination hall you don't have to write it in the ordered manner, you can just go for the conclusion straight away, but to make it easier I'm doing that. Okay, and personally I don't want you guys to follow this method, but for I'll tell you a shortcut to do all this one, but since some people might not understand the shortcut, so for them this is the conventional method. So if they are not able to understand it, or if they are not able to do it, they have to do it in this manner. Okay. And n, so the opposite sign of dollar is at. So at h. So I'm going to simplify it. Is that percentage t star n at h. So now I'm going to replace these symbols with their respective sign. That is, instead of percentage, I can write it as smaller t, and for star I can write it as greater uh, t greater than n. For at I can write it as smaller than or equal to h. Let's go for the conclusion. The first conclusion is between h and z. So h star is z. Okay. And z is here and h is at the end. And from the statement we can see that it is not in the same direction. This is in this direction, and the second one is in the opposite direction, so we cannot draw a conclusion. So there is no point converting this thing. So the second one is between t star h, and suppose if we want to convert it, t for star it's greater than h, and between t and h, both, if you see here, one is in this direction, the other one is in the opposite direction, so we cannot draw a conclusion here as well. And it is not between the similar term. H is here, but the other term is z and t, so we don't have to worry about the third option, that is if either conclusion 1 or 2 is true, both are wrong, so you can put the answer as number 4. Okay, so this is how you do coded inequality question in the conventional method. So if you put it normally, it might take around 10 minutes. 10 minutes is 10 minutes, or more than 10 minutes. If it is arranged in the same order like the first question, it might take 10 minutes, but if it is not arranged properly like the next 4 questions, it will definitely take time. So, and it is a very easy question. We know we cannot go wrong in this one. If we do it properly, we cannot go wrong. It might take some time, but it cannot go wrong. So I'll ask you not to avoid this question because it's very easy, but it is time consuming when you do it in the normal method. It is time consuming, but it is extremely easy. And in the next video, what I will do is I'll tell you how to do it uh, using this shortcut. Okay, thank you so much for listening. And if you got any doubts, you can post it in the comment box. I'll be happy to clear it as quickly as possible. Thank you.